Have you ever felt like you're constantly misunderstood, even by those closest to you? Like you're carrying the weight of everyone's emotions on your shoulders, yet nobody seems to truly get what makes you tick? Well, if you're an INFJ, you're nodding your head right now. And if you know an INFJ, you're about to get a deep dive into their world. Hey there, beautiful souls. Today we're peeling back the layers of the rarest personality type, the INFJ. And we're not just talking about surface-level stuff. We're diving deep into the things that make the INFJ want to crawl into their cozy blanket fort and never come out. Trust me, this isn't your typical personality analysis. It's real, it's raw, and it might just explain why that INFJ in your life sometimes seems to vanish into thin air. 1. Small talk, the INFJ's social kryptonite. Let's kick things off with something that makes every INFJ's skin crawl. Small talk. You know those conversations about the weather or what someone had for lunch? Yeah, INFJ would rather walk barefoot on Legos than engage in meaningless chatter. It's not that they're snobs, quite the opposite. They're wired for deep, meaningful connections that make their souls sing. When an INFJ asks, "How are you?" they genuinely want to know about your existential crisis, your dreams, and what keeps you up at night. The superficial, "I'm fine" response? It's like nails on a chalkboard to them. They crave authentic human connection like plants crave sunlight, and small talk feels like standing in the shade. 2. Emotional vampires, the energy drainers. Here's something that'll have INFJ running for the hills faster than you can say empath. Emotional vampires. These are the folks who dump their emotional baggage on others without a second thought. While INFJ are natural counselors and love helping others, they're not emotional garbage disposals. Being highly sensitive to others' feelings, INFJ absorb emotions like a sponge. That coworker who constantly complains about their drama-filled life, that friend who only calls when they need something, they're basically kryptonite to an INFJ's well-being. It's not just tiresome, it's emotionally exhausting on a cellular level. 3. Being rushed, the speed demon's nightmare. Picture this, an INFJ trying to make a decision while someone's tapping their foot impatiently. Pure torture. INFJ need time to process things deeply, considering every angle and implication. Rushing them is like trying to speed read War and Peace. You'll miss all the good stuff. They hate feeling pressured to make snap decisions or quick judgments. Their minds work like intricate clockwork, carefully weighing options and considering consequences. Push them to hurry and watch them shut down faster than a computer during a power outage. 4. Inauthentic people. The fake meter goes off. Here's the thing about INFJs. They've got built-in authenticity detectors that would put any lie detector to shame. They can smell fakeness from a mile away, and boy, do they hate it. Whether it's that person at work with their obvious fake laugh, or the social media influencer pushing products they clearly don't believe in, INFJ can't stand it. It's not just about lying, it's about people who wear masks, pretending to be something they're not. INFJ value authenticity like it's gold, and watching others put on a show for social acceptance makes them want to retreat to their quiet corner of the world. 5. Conflict and confrontation, the peace seeker's challenge. Want to see an INFJ disappear? Start an argument. These gentle souls absolutely despise conflict, especially the aggressive, in-your-face kind. They're natural peacemakers who'd rather find common ground than prove they're right. But here's the twist. They're not pushovers. They just prefer handling disagreements with grace and understanding. When conflict does arise, INFJ often find themselves playing mediator, even when they'd rather be anywhere else. It's like being a referee in a game you never signed up to watch, let alone officiate. 6. Injustice and cruelty. The moral compass goes haywire. If there's one thing that gets an INFJ's blood boiling, it's witnessing injustice or cruelty. Whether it's seeing someone being bullied, animals being mistreated, or systemic oppression, INFJ feel these injustices deeply in their bones. Their strong moral compass and empathetic nature make them particularly sensitive to unfairness in any form. They can't just witness injustice and move on. It haunts them, keeps them up at night, and often drives them to take action. This is why many INFJs end up in helping professions or become advocates for various causes. 7. Unexpected changes, the plan disruptor. INFJ love their routines and planning. It's like their security blanket in a chaotic world. Last-minute changes? That's like telling them their favorite book ending has been rewritten. While they can be flexible when necessary, unexpected disruptions to their carefully crafted plans can send them into an internal tailspin. It's not just about being controlling, it's about needing time to mentally prepare and adjust. An INFJ's mind is like a complex chess game, always thinking several moves ahead. Throw in an unexpected Queen's Gambit and watch their carefully constructed strategy crumble. 8. Being misunderstood, the eternal struggle. Here's a big one. Being misunderstood is perhaps an INFJ's greatest frustration. As the rarest personality type, they often feel like aliens trying to communicate with humans using a completely different language. Their complex inner world, rich with insights and emotions, often gets lost in translation. They might share a deep thought only to receive blank stares or dismissive responses. It's like trying to explain colors to someone who's never seen them, frustrating and sometimes lonely. This is why INFJ often resort to keeping their deepest thoughts to themselves. 9. Shallow entertainment, the mind-numbing experience. While others might enjoy mindless entertainment, INFJ typically hate anything that feels superficial or lacks depth. Reality TV shows about drama-filled relationships? No thanks. They'd rather watch a documentary about quantum physics or read a philosophical novel that makes them question their existence. It's not about being pretentious. Their minds naturally seek meaning and depth in everything they consume. They want entertainment that feeds their soul, not just kills time. 10. Phone calls, the unexpected social invasion. In today's world of texting and emails, unexpected phone calls feel like an invasion to most INFJ. It's not that they don't want to talk, they just need time to prepare mentally for social interaction. A surprise phone call is like someone barging into their room without knocking. They prefer written communication where they can carefully craft their thoughts and respond thoughtfully. Plus, phone calls often come with that dreaded small talk we mentioned earlier. 11. Being put on the spot, the spotlight, anxiety. Nothing makes an INFJ more uncomfortable than being put on the spot, whether it's being asked to share their opinion in a group setting or being called on unexpectedly. It's like their brain suddenly goes into emergency shutdown mode. INFJ process things internally first, and being forced to share thoughts before they're ready feels like serving a half-baked cake. They need time to organize their thoughts and present them in a way that truly reflects their depth of understanding. 12. Losing deep connections, the heart's greatest fear. Finally, one of the things INFJs hate most is losing meaningful connections. While they might not have many close relationships, the ones they do have run deep. Losing these connections, whether through distance, disagreements, or natural drift, hits them particularly hard. They invest so much of themselves in their relationships that losing one feels like losing a part of their soul. It's why they're often hesitant to let people in. The fear of loss can be paralyzing. Conclusion. Understanding the INFJ soul. There you have it, folks, a deep dive into the things that make INFJ want to hibernate from the world. But here's the beautiful thing about INFJs. Despite all these sensitivities and challenges, they remain some of the most insightful, caring, and transformative people you'll ever meet. Their hatred for these things doesn't stem from pickiness or judgment. It comes from a deep desire for authenticity, meaning, and genuine human connection. Understanding these aspects of the INFJ personality type isn't just about avoiding their pet peeves. It's about appreciating the depth and complexity of their beautiful minds. Remember, if you're an INFJ, you're not alone in these feelings. And if you know an INFJ, maybe this peek into their world will help you understand why they sometimes need to disappear into their blanket fort. After all, it's these very sensitivities that make INFJ the wonderful, complex, and deeply caring individuals they are. So next time you encounter an INFJ, remember, they're not being difficult, They're just being authentically themselves in a world that often feels a bit too loud, too fast, and too superficial for their deep-feeling souls.